treats. An incredible liquid heat. Now the funny glare of pale gleaming tearing, staring under heat. Involved in unusual feet. And I'm not only a monk, but I invite who I wanna come. So I missed a million miles of fun. I know it's up for me. If you steal my sunshine, if you steal my sunshine, if you steal my sunshine.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Q&A with Val Nek and myself. And yeah, so I hope you love the intro as usual. You know, sometimes I have to use a song from my generation. So it was a gamble, you know, but my 90s people, my 80s people who know that song, you know, I love that song. So I decided to use it, and it went with the theme of the kind of the solar flash. So, and what else is new? So I have brown hair, of course, so there might be some shock value in this video to that. But yeah, I mean, brown is my natural hair color, so it's interesting. People on YouTube are like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so used to you as a blonde, but you only see one aspect of someone. It's a projection really when you have a social media account, right? But everybody who's known me for years and years and years is actually used to me having brown hair. So I went back to my roots, you know. And what else before I start? So yeah, so the new book, so Val Nek and I's new book is coming out soon, very soon. And what is it about? There's a lot about me in there. There's a lot about Val Nek in there, and there's a lot, you know, the theme of it really is that we're always connected, that we are all one. So, yeah, so I won't give too much away. I mean, there's other stuff in there, but that's basically, you know, basically the theme of the book. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it to come out, and I'm excited for you guys to read it. So yes, and then we had the historical moon landing, which is, you know, funny, funny because, you know, there's a public perception that we're on the moon again, and then there's a different perception that other people have that we've been there the whole time. So yay, you know, we made it. And then something else I wanted to mention before we start is Neuralink. So, you know, it's so controversial, right? And yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it. I've made videos on implants before. Let me be clear. I am not promoting implants. I have no interest in influencing people either way. It's just there's another half to information where people are so, just playing devil's advocate a bit here, is people are so used to implants being used for mind control, okay, that they can't see past that. It's technology is a tool, so you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. This is not speaking to the intentions behind Neuralink or actually what it is. I mean, people can look for themselves and make their own decision. I don't, you know, I'm just putting out a different perspective here, that people are so afraid of technology, and really what it is so afraid of their minds being controlled. And that's interesting, right? Because if you're in control of your minds, then why are you afraid someone's going to control it? So it's advanced, I posted this on Telegram, but advanced extraterrestrial races, they are the observer of their brains, and so you can't control them because they're observing the thoughts coming in. And yeah, but the thing about the human race is that we've been programmed, everybody who's been born here, okay? So there's nobody, there's no one that got out of this, okay? Everybody's been programmed through the brain and to basically believe that they are their thoughts. And then when you can control their thoughts, then you're controlling them. So you are not your thoughts, okay? And you're actually something much bigger. And as humanity awakens and as you awaken, you yourself, you release the density, you come out of the mind or out of the ego brain back into the heart, and then you observe. You're the observer of yourself. So this is why the Galactic Federation, or more evolved, saying they're more evolved is a judgment, but they have a different perspective, okay? And this is why it's safe for them to use, or why it's a great tool for them to use implants, okay? But the human race is really not, we're not there yet, obviously. So, yeah, so it will be interesting to see how it pans out. I would also like to note, nobody needs an implant to be controlled, okay? Where we basically are programmed to do that. It's expensive. It's expensive, and it takes a lot of effort. I mean, the government has been doing that forever, right? But we really, people are already controlled without using invasive technology like that. So that's just something to note. So yes, without further ado, I will start with Val Nek, and let me get a drink first. Val Nek says, I would like to remind them, do not consent to fear. You are something much bigger. You are something much stronger. You do not see yourselves clearly. We see you for who you are. We salute you. Boop. So Val Nek, is the footage of the moon landing fake? And if so, why? He says, I cannot speak to this. You are welcome to speculate. He is talking with his supervisor. He says, there are plans we have for disclosure. It will take many years. He is kind of saying that he's showing me a picture, okay? And he's showing me it's the footage that we're seeing, or footage from NASA. And he's showing me people watching the footage, and he's talking about them, or he's explaining telepathically that these people are sleepers. They are not like you. They do not tune into these videos. They have a different perspective. This footage is for them. It's to help them, to assist them, for their own understanding. So, yeah, so he's showing me, and they're watching the footage, and it's like planting seeds. And he's explaining it's like baby steps for what we call sleepers, or for people who aren't used to it. We cannot disclose rapidly. It will not work. It has to be done slowly. This is best for their minds. It is best for your minds. It is in the highest and best good for all. This is how we do it. He's underlining it. Yeah, so I mean, it's something to note, right? Like, these videos, Val Nek and I do them for fun. Okay, most people, billions of people are not going to tune into my channel, and they're not going to be open to it, right? They're just going to be like, wow, this chick is crazy. She's off her rocker, right? So there's different, he's just reminding me there's different information for everyone to tune into, and the end goal is the same. And he's showing me like parties, streamers, and stuff like this. He's saying, you will not be disappointed. It will come in a variety of ways. Please be patient. Find yourselves. Follow your heart. This is the way. He's underlining it. Yes, follow our hearts. So, you know, I'm not used to seeing myself on camera with brown hair. So it's, I'm having a moment to myself. So anyways, this is a good question. So Val Nek, how does Val Nek keep negative entities from infiltrating his domain? he's asking me to reword the question so that people understand. So there are physical beings who have like the reptilians or the greys or extraterrestrials like that who are predators to him. He's saying, for this we have tools, we have ships, we have men, and we fight. This is how we do it. And he's showing me the brain psychologically. When we talk about entities infiltrating psychologically, we do not consent to this. We do not believe in this. This is not part of our culture. We are sovereign. We are free. These are our values. It is not possible. So he's explaining, he's showing me their minds, right? And they also, of course, are in a physical body in 5D. So they also have egos, okay, that are there to protect the body, to make sure the body survives. And are, of course, it's there for their own evolution, right? But there's not really any, they're all telepathic. So when they hear, if they hear a voice, they don't really believe that it's them, okay? So this is not possible. This is not how we work. And he's trying to explain it in a way, I'm going to explain it in a way that people will understand, actually. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, on planet Earth, entities infiltrating your mind, the door is open because you basically consent to it and you believe that something can control you. And it's not about being like, oh yeah, they don't have power over me and I'm sovereign and blah, blah, blah. That, again, is just the brain telling a story. It's actually about knowing that nothing can come in, nothing can influence my consciousness. It's a deep, deep knowing. And the thing is, people on planet Earth have they've bought into mass consciousness, stuff from past lifetimes they brought here that they're trying to transcend. And so it's really about knowing yourself and integrating all of your light into the body. And is it possible? The body and the mind can be controlled perceptively, okay? But if you're light, what can control the light, right? It's the same thing for implants. This is all stuff that has density to it, and it's whether it's energetic and 5D or something more solid here, it's still density and you are light. So how could density control the light, right? So that's kind of, that's kind of their philosophy or how they think about things. So this is why it sometimes sounds cheesy when Val Nek's like, do not consent to fear. But I can explain, I'm explaining better what he means. I mean, it's a deep knowing of who you are that is combined with not consenting to fear, okay? They're saying very good. So the next question, Val Nek, how will we know the difference in contact from the Federation between AI or Project Bluebeam and the real thing besides the energy? So much seems deceiving. He says, we are not coming yet. We will not come physically. You can connect through your hearts. He is thinking. Him and his supervisor are discussing something. He says there are many distractions on your planet. Many things happening in the sky. I repeat, they are distractions. They are not us. We know your people are afraid. We will not come down. We do not show our vessels. We do not show our crafts. It is not us. And he's underlying. He is reminding me of the fake alien invasion, and he's saying that it is a hoax, and he's underlining it. And he says, do not consent to fear. So the second part of the question, Val Nek, is how will people know it's the Federation? He says, I will repeat again, this will take many years, and he's underlining it. Your minds have to be open, your hearts have to be open, the people have to be ready. They will not accept us as we are at this time. They will try to destroy us. We know this very well. Your people are too afraid. They will start a war. This will not be good. Yeah, so I've had that theory as well, that if the aliens actually came down, like the real ones, the thing is that people are so afraid and their energy field is so high, we would start to project onto them and we would start to think that they're trying to kill us, and then we would kill them. Even though they're not, it's just a projection of our own ego. So yeah, it wouldn't be, Val Nek is saying, there are many plans for disclosure. They will be disclosed very soon. Your people will not be disappointed. There are many of you who know we exist. This is enough. You know already. It's true. We know already. So, yeah, and this is another thing I want to point out. When people say artificial intelligence, okay, that's a computer program. It's how something is programmed, okay? It's an algorithm, if you will. Project Bluebeam is not AI. It's using holographic technology and different types of technology. So they're not actually one and the same. Okay, this is a good question, but we kind of discussed it. We kind of discussed it last Q&A, but we'll ask again. Val Nek, there are rumors of people that work in service for the secret space programs, often called the 20 and back programs, where people work and then have their minds wiped and are returned to Earth. If true, will these individuals have their memories returned? So I guess the question is, will there be some sort of system or program to help people recover these memories? He's saying, you do not need us. You do not need to wait. You can do this yourselves. There are ways that we can do this. This is true, but you do not need to wait. He's showing me the moon, and he's showing me a station on the moon, and he's showing me this is where soldiers from Mars went to go and help be healed in a way, and putting them in this is how we undo their programming. This is how I'm showing you. So they put them basically into it looks like it is a med bed, okay, in a way. Med bed can mean a lot of different things, but it's a technology. They go into the bed, and basically the thing scans them, and it can see the links in the brain that are dormant, and then the machine emits a high frequency, which basically activates the links, and then the person wakes up. So he's saying, he's calling it reverse hypnosis. We reverse brainwashing. This is how we do it. Your people can do this, do it themselves. It will take a longer process, but they can do it. This is, yeah, he's saying, he's explaining there's people, the people who are teaching spirituality know how to do this. So yeah, it's just basically raising your own frequency, and that frequency opens up the pathways in the brain, and then you're awake. It's simple. They're laughing too. Yeah, but basically the more light you welcome into your body, the more your brain opens. And this goes for memories of past lifetimes, or maybe you very recently came from maybe a different place or a different planet and incarnated on Earth. The more that you raise your frequency, the more the mind opens, and those memories are available to you. So this is a hot topic recently, actually. So Val Nek, can the Federation intervene if the human military decides to detonate certain weapons? So it starts with an N, but I won't say it on YouTube. So he says, I can confirm this is not possible. This is what we do. This is our duty. We do not need permission from the humans. We are the best of the best. And he's underlining. They are talking. Him and his supervisor are talking. He's showing me space, okay, and he's showing me around planet Earth, around the moon, around Mars, and he's showing me different satellites that they have, and then he's showing me the Federation space station, and he says, "We monitor it from there. There is no danger. We watch closely. They affect the whole galaxy. It is our duty to protect and serve." And he is saluting. Okay, good enough for me. Do they have, someone says, do they have ascended masters on different planets? He says, we do not think of them the way that you do. There are people, special people, that work as guides. They work together as one, as councils. We consult them as needed. This is how we do it. My friend, my supervisor, he is one of these people. They're kind of laughing about the idea of him being an ascended master. The way, I don't know how to explain why it's funny, but the way that we view ascended masters is, in a way, idolatry, okay? So we put them on a pedestal, and a lot of people worship them. Not everybody. And it's not to, that our perception of the ascended masters doesn't take away the validity of, or the truth of their experience, right? It's just that a lot of humanity has perceived them as better than us, or more holy, or whatever. So they're laughing that the supervisor is more holy than them. He is a special person, a special man. I have spoken of his gifts before. He is very talented. He is very helpful. He can travel with his mind. He can travel without his body. This is something everyone can accomplish. This is a gift of what you call your masters. They are not really masters. They are light. They are light like us. They are light like you. We are all equal. Yeah, and that's the true message of the Ascended Masters, right? Whether you want to say brothers and sisters in Christ, okay, we're all friends, we're all equals. There is no, from my perspective, there's no one true savior of the planet. We don't need to be saved because we're all light, right? So, and then when you realize that you're light, that's when you yourself start to ascend. So it's, yeah, it's interesting. Ooh, another good question. So, Val Nek, can the grays still harm us and our minds? He and his friend are speaking. He says they cannot physically harm you. This is over. This is over for the Terrans. We are training your military. Your military is assisting your people. They cannot harm you. Do not be afraid. He's just asking me to explain that the fear of them actually is what makes them real. So they don't actually need to physically be present in around planet Earth, or they don't need to be present, like physically have a presence here, because they're still existing in our minds. They're not actually existing in our minds. We're making them exist in our minds by making the fear of them, by allowing the fear of them to still exist there. And so therefore they perceptively still have control over us, even though there's not actually an actual gray, like in a physical body around us. It's that we're making it real in our own minds. So it is part of their mind control. It is very effective in some ways. He says, raise your frequency, open your heart. This is the way. They cannot harm you. They do not have power. They do not have control. They never did. And he's underlining it. Yeah, so this is part of this is part of humanity's evolution, right? So we can build the technology, we can protect our planet, but the effects of the infiltration of our planet are through the mind are long lasting, and no one can free your own mind for you. Like, just because the Federation whatever gets rid of them, or they can't come back, or Space Force, tells, they can't come near us, they still are affecting us or controlling us, because we're seeing ourselves as prey and like weak, and we're seeing them as predators. And to be honest with you, in the UFO community, that is the entire narrative of the UFO community is to be afraid of the grays, be afraid of the reptilians, and they basically, I mean, yeah, they can kind of be what they're really looking for. Why they invade the mind and why they invade the body is because they're looking for the light, okay? And so they cannot take the light from you. They never could, not in a million years. And you cannot take the light away from another person, okay? So can you see how they've infiltrated our minds and tried to make us, try to get us to destroy each other? So it's when you see a bunch of humans attacking other humans, it's because they're arguing over the light or arguing over the love, deep down in the depths of people's consciousness, right? And basically, we're all sovereign aspects of light. So no one can take it away from you. You cannot take it away from other people. However, these extraterrestrials, the Greys, the reptilians, believe that the light is outside of them. And when we're afraid of them, we're agreeing to their belief that the light is outside of us. And it's just not true. Boop. We're done with that. Moving on. So, okay, so the next question, is duality real? In other words, if something or someone is to experience joy, does it mean another must feel pain in order to balance? If it is real, is this limited to particular realms like us, for example, 3D densities? So the best way I can explain it is, I'm just going to answer this myself, is that your emotions all come from the ego brain, okay? Really, the only thing, you are love, and love is not an emotion, although most people think it is. Or a feeling, it's a state of being, okay? So all the rest of it comes from the mind, and it's basically created from perceptions inside your mind. So that's when we talk about duality, we're talking about the physicality of things. So male and female, there's a positive, and then there's the female is the negative, right? And you can see that the animal kingdom is modeled that way, okay? So when we talk about duality, it's also, in a way, it's not really real, because it's a perception, it's an illusion when you come into a physical density that there is darkness, and really the only thing that is real is light. So in a way, it's not real. From a certain perception, it is real. So it's funny and confusing all at the same time. So yeah, there's also another question, Val Nek, that because of politics and stuff going on this year, people are afraid that their voice is not going to be heard, or concerned that their voice is not going to be heard. So what is your perception on that? He's saying we have a great plan. There is a greater plan. Everybody is part of the plan. It is a winning plan, and he's underlining it. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a say. This is what I have to say. Do not consent to fear. He's underlining it. So yeah, everybody has a voice. So you're welcome to speculate what that means. He is reminding me of Space Force, and he is reminding me of the internet. He's saying the internet of Terra is secure. And he's explaining that there is a perception of there's a public perception of the internet, and then there's a he's saying top secret, and he's winking. Top secret version of the internet. We have access to it. It has been running for a very long time, and he's winking. The best of the best, and he's talking about the U.S. Navy as well, and Space Force also, and he's saying, I salute them. What advice, so I guess the last question is, what advice does the supervisor have regarding spiritual ascension? A lot of people are having, I'm just explaining to them and to you guys, but a lot of people are having trouble being stuck, feeling like things just keep going on and on and on, and they're not moving or progressing, and they're having difficulty or trouble finding themselves. I will repeat what my supervisor says. It is a concept. He's showing me a picture. He's showing me a bunch of humans, actually their light bodies, and he's showing me their brains. And he's showing me the brain is density, right? It's a physical aspect of the body, and he's showing me the light around it. And he's showing me their feet on the ground, absorbing the energy from Earth and bringing the energy up from the Earth into the body, and as that happens, the density slowly and slowly releases. He's saying this is his advice. It takes time. Electronics do not help. Do not use your phones. You use them too often. I watch Megan. She is always on her phone. Not always, but a lot of the times, yes, I agree. Go to nature, connect with your planet. This is where healing begins. We watch your people, we watch your internet. You participate in fights. You participate in fear. This is not the way. This is not the way of the heart. Connect with yourself. Connect with nature. This is the way. They are just showing me, yeah, they have systems, okay, and they observe. It's a way to observe the consciousness of the planet. So in a way, they like to observe the internet too, and people's conversations on the internet and what's going on. And so he's showing me the words ego programming. We want to remind you this is not real. These are illusions. The internet of illusions. And he's showing a mask. Connect with yourself. This is the way. This is our message. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that. Like, I'll look on the internet, but I obviously, by all of the posts that I make about the horses and stuff, I do spend a good amount of time outside. But yeah, I mean, the internet, it's a lot of people arguing and fighting and projecting onto each other. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm super excited for the new book to come out, and I'm excited to share with you guys. And yeah, if you thought I was crazy for the first one, we'll just wait and see for the second one and see how crazy I am then. But I love you guys, and I'll be back with more videos.